Hello there and welcome to Friday. Yeah, it's Friday, July 31st, 2026. This is the Daily Crack Show with me, Sean G, right here on Global Irish Radio, streaming live from just outside Castlebar in the county of Mayo. What a week it's been here in County Mayo. What a week. If you survive this week in Mayo, well, you can survive just about anything. It's been a roller coaster of a week and the celebrations ongoing. No end in sight for this great party. The party of parties. The parties of all ages. Welcome along, friends. As I say, we're live. It's a bank holiday weekend, and as Luca Bloom sang back in the day, couldn't have come at a better time. We're all wrecked. Actually, last Monday wouldn't have been a bad day either, but you know what? Nobody went to work last Monday. We kind of made it a non-official bank holiday, and we've been celebrating ever since. But yeah, it is a bank holiday weekend. Welcome along to our live broadcast. The news never stops, neither does the crack, and that's why we're with you this Friday. Here, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays now between the 3 to 4 o'clock hour, bring you up to speed on all that you need to know, you know. And there's a lot that you need to know. And of course, we keep you connected with Mother Ireland, all the latest happenings, the lighter side of the news, and you know, your minimum dose of Irishness to get you through the day. It's what we do. Check us out online at our online home on the internet, dailycrack.com actually, dailycrack.com. Check it out. There's lots to see there. You can glance at all the day's newspapers, the actual front pages of the newspapers, if you like the look of a paper. We can't give you the feel of the paper, but we can give you the look of the paper, and you can check out the headlines for yourself as you have your morning coffee or whatever it is, whatever your daily constitution is. And if you're listening last week, you know that the winning combination here in Ireland for most people to get their day off to a successful start is a shower and a cup of coffee. Yes, the part of that I was a little bit surprised about was that the coffee is overtaken cup on tea, the cup of Irish tea in the mornings, but it is. And we want you to add one other thing, one other ingredient or one other procedure to your morning routine, and that is check out thedailycrack.com. It'll link you to all of the day's headlines, the big stories of the day, all of the news sites, their trending stories. You can check out what we're Googling in this country. You probably know this week, but anyway, and what's trending on X, all of that nice stuff. And of course, there's a link to all to this show. You can listen live via the website, or you can click on the past episodes of The Daily Crack. If you can't get enough crack, just click on listen to previous episodes of The Crack. It's good to be with you this Friday, and boy, the weather is certainly cooperating this Friday before the bank holiday weekend. Now, I warn you, disclaimer, as is often the case with the Irish weather, enjoy it while it lasts, because we're being told, I heard it on the grapevine, not from Met Éireann or any of the official sources, but from the farmers of County Mayo, that it's going to be a washout by Monday, so Monday of the bank holiday weekend, which is okay because most people are pretty much spent by that, okay, by the time Monday rolls around anyway. So lots going on, as you can imagine. We'll come to some of what's happening this bank holiday weekend. There is lots going on. We have a trailer of turf to put away before the weekend is out. Yes, we have a turf supplier. Don't tell anyone. We know it's against the law, but we found a supplier. We can't tell you who our supplier is, but we do have a turf supplier, and I have to tell you, just, you know, the turf is absolutely spectacular this day. It's dry as a newspaper. It's lovely, lovely turf, because we've had the most amazing summer weather. Usually the turf, that's a good barometer of how good your summer is in terms of the weather. The turf. Pick up a sod of turf. You could tell so much from looking at a sod of turf. But anyway, a lovely trailer of turf came our way this past week, and we love the tradition of burning turf, and it's good to have, as we found out in previous occasions when there's those big winter storms that roll through now. Yes, we're getting nicer summers, but we're also getting harsher, well, more violent, so bigger storms, bigger windier storms in the wintertime. So it's good to be prepared for that. And when all the electricity and the internet and everything else is not working, the good old sod of turf can be counted on. So that's our bank holiday weekend, putting away the turf for the winter season. There's lots of other fun stuff happening that we'll be checking out as well, no doubt. As I say, the celebrations here in Mayo, they are continuing. There is a lot going on. If you get a chance later on tonight, get yourself outside, as I often drag Margaret out at the end of the night, to check out the moon. We love looking at the moon, and there's a very special moon happening at the moment. We didn't get to see it last night. I'd seen it one night and I was amazed. I was amazed at where it was in the sky, because it's usually on the other side of the sky, but this moon is on a different part of the sky. But anyway, the moon is pretty spectacular, and sky watchers across the world have been checking it out. Photographers in particular, and lovely pictures in some of the papers. They call it the Buck Moon, yeah, with the B, yeah, a B. The Buck Moon. And as I said, lovely pictures over several famous landscapes across the world. There's one of the photographers got some lovely pictures and included them in today's star. The Buck Moon, what's that all about? You're saying there are so many different types of moons. What kind of moon is he on about now? Well, I hadn't heard of this one before. Perhaps you had, but it's the traditional name given for the full moon that appears in July, and we're almost at the end of July. Yes, friends, hard to believe it, but we're almost into August now, on the bank holiday weekend, which heralds, the start of the harvest and all that stuff. But anyway, it appears in July when the male deer begins to grow those new antlers, the things on his head. That's when they start growing them, in July, and we have a moon to coincide with all of that. And don't ask me, all I know is it looks lovely, and it's a big orange moon, and it coincides. It's called the Buck Moon. So if you get a chance, get outside tonight and check it. It looks pretty vivid over some of the landmarks that it is pictured behind in today's Irish papers, or some of the papers at least. Pictures of it in Dubai and London and New York and the Bronx and different places. So that's the moon, a brand new moon for a brand new month. If you get outside, check it. It's always nice to see. And when you're out there, check out for all that activity going on in the sky. I thought they were aliens, but when I Googled it, because I was out one night and I seen so many, maybe 50, 60 moving objects in the sky. Turns out it's Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, and different types of satellites, and they are all over the place, all over Irish skies at least anyway. So that's, as I say, a lot of busy time in our skies. Busy time in the nation's airports as well, because people are on the move, as you might expect on a bank holiday weekend. Boy, are they ever. Dublin Airport will be really busy this bank holiday weekend. They are expecting, believe it or not, over 500,000 passengers to pass through the terminals this weekend. And if you're wondering, well, Sunday will be the busiest day of all three, with about 136,000 travellers, and then 128,000 expected at the hub on Monday. People coming home, don't you know? If you go away, you always have to come back. That's the bad part. But it's not always bad, mind you. There you go. The coming back to Mayo this week in terms of the supporters and the football team was not a bad experience at all, and quite the contrary. But anyway, some people love to go on holidays and some people love to come home. Some people hate coming home, but there you go. There'll always be lovers and haters. The August bank holiday marks one of the final major getaway weekends before the end of the summer holiday season. So it's the last hurrah, last chance cafe for people to get away for a little short break before it's back into, the back to school season, getting the kids ready, and back into the short days and long nights, the wintry weather. So if you are one of those people heading out, we wish you well and be safe. It's a dangerous place on the nation's roads, particularly on a bank holiday weekend. In fact, the Friday, that's right, today, the Friday of the bank holiday weekend, is the most, statistically, the most dangerous time of the year to be on our nation's roads. That's when a lot of the bad things happen on the Friday, when people are all, in a rush to get to where they're going, finishing up at work early. I'll be honest though, not a tap of work was done in Mayo this week. Not a tap of work was done, so I don't know. But anyway, it's people taking it easy, and for a good reason. But you understand, you get the picture. People are rushing about on the Friday, trying to make their deadlines and get to the places that they need to be for that weekend. So watch out, be safe on our roads. Dublin Airport is advising its passengers, as always, to prepare for a busy airport and arrive at good time. You don't want to be missing that flight, and check directly with the airline for the latest information regarding your check-in and boarding times, because things can change, as you know very well, and know the procedures with regards to what liquids and stuff you can carry on and all of that stuff, just for the sake of the people behind you, if for nothing else. What else? Meanwhile, tens of thousands of people are set to pass through Cork Airport as well. They're expecting about 72,000 passengers, which is busy for Cork. No word or mention as to what the expectation is around about Knock Airport. There was a bit of excitement there on Thursday because there was a private jet spotted and a helicopter, and they thought the Gallagher brothers of Oasis fame were in town to join the Mayo team for celebrations in Charlestown. I don't know if that came to fruition or not, but as I say, the speculation was rife. There'll always be speculation at times like that, and when private jets come into the airport. Shannon Airport expecting about 65,000, and so there you go. And people are flying all over the place. They're going to places like destinations all across Europe, the parts of Europe that's not burning down, North America, and farther afield as well. And I expect maybe a lot of people returning home after coming home for the All-Ireland football final. Lots of people came home for that from different parts of the world. The Mayo diaspora, it's a large bunch of people. The happy people at the airport will be the Mayo fans this weekend. There's no doubt about that. But anyway, also, as I said, the roads, dangerous place to be at the best of times, but particularly at the bank holiday weekend. As always, since it is a bank holiday weekend, on Garda Síochána, they're launching their weekend blitz. They do this quite frequently now when it comes to a bank holiday weekend, so expect to encounter roadblocks or checkpoints where they'll pull you over and they will breathalyze you. That's how it works in this country. They'll breathalyze you for no apparent reason whatsoever. It's mandatory and you have to obey, and that kind of stuff. So just like they were out Tuesday, the day after the Sam Maguire came to Mayo, and everybody had blatant disregard for the cops and everything else that was happening on Sunday and Monday night. The coppers were out getting their little bit back. Getting a little payback was on Tuesday when they went out around lunchtime, which caused, well, I suppose people weren't surprised, but they thought, really? People on the way back to work at lunchtime the following day, they were out trying to catch them. But there you go. All in the name of road safety, I suppose. Garda Síochána is appealing to all road users to reduce their speed and show consideration for others. You do need to do that. It's always good to be considerate to others. Our Irish roads are very, very dangerous. I'm astonished at the speed limits on many of our Irish roads. They are windy and twisty and bendy, and you almost need to be a rally driver to keep the car on two wheels at the speed limits posted. So watch out for that and be safe. You don't have to travel at the speed limit. These are the remember the limits or the speed given the optimum conditions for the road. So if there's rain or anything like that and slippy, you got to slow it down. So watch out, as I say, watch out for the coppers. They'll be out in force this weekend. There's going to be checkpoints and speed checkpoints and breathalyzer checkpoints, and looking for drunk driving, drug driving, mobile phone use, distracted driving, and not wearing of the seatbelt. So they're checking for a lot of things. Keep that in mind as you get behind the wheel this bank holiday weekend. Friends, we are live. We're alive and kicking and in good form this Friday. We hope that you are too. Check out, as I say, our website, dailycrack.com. It's our link to, or your link to a world of crack, a world of news, a world of headlines, a gateway to everything happening here in this wonderful country of ours. All the top news sites, podcasts as well, linked to the top 10 podcasts, the most listened to podcasts here in Ireland. There's a countdown, there's a chart for that as well. So if you get a chance. And last night I had the pleasure of sitting down with the Irish Ranter, and we recorded the latest episode of the Irish Ranter. A lot of talking there about Mayo, other things as well. You can check all of that out at the irishranter.com, or indeed wherever you get your podcasts. And as I say, a lot of sporting podcasts in the top 10, as you can imagine, this week. Some podcasts to watch out for over the weekend if you're out for a walk or anything like that. The Path to Power with Matt Cooper, good political podcast that I like to take on my walk on Saturday mornings. And then on Sundays, it's Brendan O'Connor and the newspaper panel, where they dissect the weekend. They go through the papers. Just like I do on the Daily Crack, they go through the papers and pick out some of the best of the stories and the rest of the stories, and they talk about that, kind of a synopsis or a look back at all the big news stories from the week gone by. So that's a good hour of radio as well with Brendan O'Connor. So as I said, links to all of that at the dailycrack.com. Should you ever feel the need to get in touch with us, and we'd love to hear from you, studio@gir.ie, always a good way to get in touch with us here at the programme. If you want to say hello, a shout out, anything like that, or you want to hear a piece of music or a piece of whatever the reason, just to say hello, studio@gir.ie, that's where you'll find us. And as I say, check out that website, dailycrack.com, and of course, Global Irish Radio as well. Download the app and you can take us with us, and you can listen to us live on the Monday, Wednesday or Friday at 3 o'clock. But if you can't, there are podcasts of the show at thedailycrack.com. Okay. Now, let's, where to begin this Friday? There's so much going on. What a week it's been, as I say. A week that was, you know, at the start of the week, happy, sweet tears is how they were described in the papers. And then sad, heartbreak tears by the end of the week with the news of the passing or the untimely death of Glenn Hansard. We'll touch on both of those stories between now and the top of the hour, 4 o'clock. But I want to tell you, I sound like P. Finn now. I want to tell you that if you're hoping to get tickets for the Ryder Cup, well, if you haven't got them by today, you're probably you're probably not going to get them, or you're going to pay a hefty price on the on that old black market, is if that's what you want to call it. But anyway, Ryder Cup general admission tickets for next year's tournament in Adare Manor, they have already sold out. Yeah, can you believe it? The tournament, well, I can actually, but anyway, the tournament organisers confirmed on Friday morning, that's this morning, that after fans who won the ballot were notified of the past 7 days, all general admission tickets sold out immediately. So in other words, there was a ballot, there was kind of a raffle kind of style offering of the tickets, and they're all accounted for. And we can tell you that fans from over 80 countries around the world have purchased tickets to this Ryder Cup tournament. As expected, most of the tickets were bought by Irish fans. 34% of tickets sold going to Irish spectators. The tournament takes place in over 13 months. It's over a year away, but people are thinking ahead. And let's see, time and attendance is set to exceed 250,000 people, with a daily capacity of about 55,000 people at Adare Manor. So plans at an advanced stage for that big tournament, and all of the tickets already gone. Can you believe that? So there'll be some people disappointed, and but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I was listening to or reading a piece where the organizer said that Richard Atkinson, the European Tour Group's chief Ryder Cup officer, said they always thought that there'd be a huge global interest in the 2027 Ryder Cup, but the demand for tickets that they received throughout the entire process has been nothing short of remarkable. And he said they could have sold out general admission more than 12 times over, which is, of course, a testament to the appeal of, golf's greatest team contest, as well as the passion of Irish fans to be a part of that. So, you got two big things colliding there. The greatest golf contest in the world and all the greatest golfers, and Irish people's enthusiasm for golfing. And the Irish love horses and they love golfing. So there you go. Speaking of horses, nice segue into what's happening in Galway at the moment. It is day 5, friends, at the Galway races, and they are enjoying some lovely weather as we come to the end of the week, which is lovely to see. It was a little bit of a damp start to the races, but the clouds rolled back by about Tuesday, and it's been a lovely week there. Hundreds of thousands of people, a lot of people. Maybe not hundreds of thousands, I'm not sure the exact number, but a lot of people, you get the picture, have been making their way to Galway and to Ballybrit. It is so much more than horses. It's about pretty women and pretty dresses and pretty hats. It's about a social gathering. It's coming together. It's about good times. It's about community. It's about pints. It's about cocktails. It's about a good time. And that's exactly what the Galway races is all about. And we can tell you that Lisa Walsh is smiling all day today after having a pretty good day yesterday at Ballybridge. She claimed the top prize, €10,000 for the best dressed lady, and the dress travelled 15,000 kilometres to be there. So there you go, worth the travel, I would imagine. She bought it from Australia, where of course there are lots of Irish people, and there'll be more Irish people soon when the Mayo lads go down there to play Australian rules football. But anyway, or Kobe at least. The County Meath accountant, 37, she wore a very elegant kind of long piece dress. I don't know what you call it. Only one actually is the name of it, and it's a long dress, diamond shapes. It was a classy dress, as you can imagine. You'll have to look at the papers. I'm not very good at describing dresses, but it's a full-length long dress. So it's not one of those skimpy numbers that you might be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And a lovely hat to go with it. It's a classy affair, and it earned her €10,000. The best dress competition, well, there's other categories there as well, and I'm not sure who won the hat. Any one of these ladies I'm looking at could have won the competition for the most amazing hat, because there were a lot of nice hats there. But that's the Galway races, as I say, coming towards the end of the week now, and another successful race outing in Galway. And we know the best dressed lady for this year, and that once again is Lisa Walsh. Still time to get in on that as well if you're heading to Galway. Lots of people do. I know that Tommy Smith and Trassa Goodwin Smith made the trip over from New York. They've been coming to the races for decades. Never miss it. That's the story for a lot of people. And if you're watching racing TV or if you're up in Galway, you'll always meet lots of great Characters. As I say, it's a great social occasion and lovely to see them on the television and placing the bets and all of the rest of it. The Galway races, as I say, and that's coming on the heels, of course, on a very successful International Arts Festival the week before. And then, of course, up in Belfast, there's so much happening at the moment. Everywhere you look, not just here, but in Irish communities all around the world, there is a pile of stuff happening coming into this bank holiday weekend. It's the Belfast Tradfest has been happening all week, hasn't it, in Belfast, the pinnacle of world-class traditional music. There's concerts, there's fiery pub sessions, there's drinking, there's porter, and there's everybody having a good time. But it's all about the traditional Irish music and the coming together of people in this in Belfast, the UNESCO City of Music, and that's been on all week since last Sunday, July the 26th, to Sunday, August the 2nd. So that concludes on Sunday. So there you go. So that's the Belfast Tradfest, and they were expecting something like 800,000 visitors to Belfast. So it's one big party. It's one big party, and still time to check that out as well. Okay. Let us take a look at our papers today, because lots of different, yesterday, of course, the papers, every single one of the papers, dominated by news of the passing of Glyn Hansard. Lots of coverage today in the papers as well, and pictures and tributes continuing to Glyn Hansard, who lost his life in a motorcycle tragedy or accident on the roads on Tuesday night, was it? Yesterday, all from pages say dedicated the story of his untimely passing, and yesterday as well, lots of people came out on the streets of Dublin. Glyn Hansard was a busker. He was a busker at heart, and that's where he started his musical career, and that's oftentimes where he felt most comfortable. And he was always, could be seen at Christmas time in particular, out busking, raising money for the homeless charities and stuff like that. He was, he was a great musician, and he was a great person, and he was a kind person, and he liked to help others. That's very clear from the coverage of his passing. But yeah, performers and music fans and all of them gathered on the streets of Dublin yesterday, and they were paying tribute to the Oscar-winning hit singer, Falling Slowly. And people lined up as well to sign the Book of Condolence. A long line of people who watched it on the telly last night lining up to sign the Book of Condolence. The pub where he sang his last song on the night before the crash, the Wren's Nest is called, they came out and made a statement today and paid tribute to, they said, things were so raw, emotions so raw, and the heartbreak that everybody's experiencing, hard to talk about it, but they paid tribute to him and wanted to quell any kind of rumours or speculation that there was a lock-in or anything like that. Nothing like that. The pub closed in accordance with its licensing hours, shut the door at 11:30, and the investigation into his what exactly happened is ongoing, because he wasn't found until about 4:30 in the morning by somebody actually on their way to work, and then the paramedics were called, and the fire services, or the ambulance and the police and all of the emergency responders, and tried to help him, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. So a terrible, awful tragedy. As I say, at a time when much of the country, and certainly the West, were celebrating, we were on a high, and then this sad news came in, which shows it's anything can happen in an instant. But anyway, lots of coverage on that story, and lovely picture of him on the papers today, singing his last song in that pub, the Wren's Nest. And that's the thing, people will tell you, he was a global star. Very I don't think he got the recognition that he necessarily deserved. I mean, he's very low key and very down to earth guy, and he was a global superstar. Let's face it, not many people can say they've won an Oscar for their song, and he was the front man on The Frames, but not as high profile as some of the other artists, but much loved. That there's no question or no doubt about that, and very talented as well. So, as I say, it was a week where tragedy and triumph collided. Tragedy on the East Coast and triumph here in the West. But anyway, that was the week that's in it. Let's take a look at some of the front pages today, just to give you Just to give you a flavour of the headlines that's on our front papers and to the Irish Times. Let's see. A leader, an indomitable force. He didn't have fans, he had a flock, says Nadine O'Regan, writing in today's Irish Times. A genuine talent and a lovely man, he lit up the room. That's from the Irish Examiner, and it's a headline over a picture of Glenn Hansard standing on stage at a mic under a spotlight, and the story accompanying that by music journalist Tom Dunn. It's a good read. The Herald carries a picture of the musicians and fans that I talked about there a few minutes ago, who gathered on the streets of Dublin yesterday to celebrate the life and the music of Glenn Hansard. And they paid a poignant tribute to the Oscar-winning singer. Chorus of Grief, the headline there on the Herald. Similar picture on the Irish Daily Mirror with the headline, It Busk Be Love. A play on the It Must Be Love. It Busk, B-U-S-K, Be Love is a headline on today's Irish Daily Mirror. And finally, the Star recounts. Yeah, they recount his last song, Glenn's last song, the singer pictured in the pub the night before he met his fate following a motorcycle accident on his way home. So that's the front picture on today's Irish Daily Star, Glenn's last song. So a lot of sadness, as you can see, as we round out this week here in Ireland, and lots of tributes and coverage, and there have been tributes from all over the place. Much loved, there's no question about that. Tough week, and he has a youngster aged 3 or 4 and a wife left behind, so it's a sad story. Friends, we hope you're well this Friday, gearing up for a busy weekend, or wherever you are, whether it's here in Ireland for the bank holiday weekend or whether it is farther afield. There's lots to look forward to, and lots of festivals happening in the US of A as well. Oh boy, there is, yeah. The mother of all festivals is happening. When is that? That's the Milwaukee Irish Fest, but it's right around the corner. Yeah, it is. Céad Míle Fáilte. 100,000 welcomes are awaiting you at the Milwaukee Irish Fest this year, which runs from August the 13th, one day after Margaret's birthday. By the way, thank you, Mary Ellen. Margaret received a birthday card early from you this year, and she is quite chuffed today, I must tell you. Brought a smile to her face, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. And she was shocked that you that you even knew, but there you go. Anyway, and the Milwaukee Irish Fest, which runs from August the 13th to the 16th this year at the Henry Meyer Festival Park in Milwaukee. I've been there many times. Well, I've been there a few times. And, for anyone in the Irish diaspora looking to reconnect with home, this is the place to be. As I said, it is the mother of all Irish festivals. And they have like 17 stages there. There's all kinds of great things happening. 17 stages, say there's music, there's dance, there's cultural entertainment, there's festival goers, lots of festival goers, thousands and thousands of people, and there's so many things to do. It's more than a festival, it's a cultural event, and it's kind of like a little piece of Ireland. It's like coming over here with a chisel and cutting off a little bit of Ireland and bringing it over, and bringing the best of all aspects of Irish heritage and culture. This year's lineup, by the way, blends fresh faces with beloved regulars. They have the likes of who have they got there? Bellwood is there. They've got Gaelic Storm. They've got to check out the website irishfest.com or whatever it is. Jig Jam, Alton, Shane Hennessy, Gideon, Tommy Sands. They have the creme de la creme of Irish music performers, and all appearing at the Milwaukee Irish Fest this year. As I say, much more than a festival. They have a special deep dive into Irish heritage and storytelling in association with the University of Galway. So if you're into storytelling, that kind of stuff, and that'll be in the head school at the festival. And also they have a very special, would you say, exhibition or event surrounding Halloween. Fáilte, Ireland's home of Halloween, the activation also returns, bringing together destinations and festivals from across Ireland. So basically, it's a celebration of Halloween and the history of that great festival, which traces its roots to Ireland, believe it or not. They're celebrating football there as well this year because, the University of Wisconsin, the Badgers, they're heading to Ireland in 2027, and for the Aer Lingus College Football Classic, which has become a huge thing in recent times. Lots of people come over for the game. It'll be a sellout crowd at the Aviva, but at the Milwaukee Irish Fest, they're kind of having a pep rally for the Badgers of Wisconsin. So there you go. It's got it all. It's got great traditional music. It's got storytelling. It's got the history of Halloween and all the great festivals or events that's here in Ireland that you can come and check out. You can find out more about it, and of course, as I say, the footballers as well. So it's all happening at this year's Milwaukee Irish Fest. Also happening this very weekend is the Dublin Irish Festival in Ohio. If you're in that part of the world, the Dublin Irish Festival takes place from today through Sunday. And great entertainment there and great line of music as well. Well worth checking out. They have their own dedicated website and great performers. Gaelic Storm, Alton, the Gardner Brothers, Eileen Ivers, the Prodigals. Recognise so many of these names from the festival circuit. And they have an Irish Unity Forum, which will take place at the Dublin Irish Festival as well. So they'll be talking about series things as well as having a good time. And also food and drink remains central to the festival experience. They have cooking demonstrations. You can learn how to make a good Irish breakfast or a good shepherd's pie, any of that nice stuff. It's a food festival as well. It's also a drink festival, and it's also a damn good time. So check it out. If you're in that part of the world, as I said, Dublin, Ohio, that is a great Irish festival. Gaelic Park have their festival. They moved the Memorial Day festival to August, so they can kind of tap into some of these musicians that's out for the Dublin Irish Festival and the Milwaukee Irish Fest, and they'll be having their festival later in the month as well. Not sure of the exact dates on that one. You'll have to tune in to Tom tomorrow. He'll tell you all about it. He's playing some of the music from some of the artists that's playing there as well. That's Tom's Good Morning Ireland radio show on Global Irish Radio, streaming live on, as I say, on Global Irish Radio, live from Chicago, 1 o'clock, 1 to 3 local time there in Chicago tomorrow. Tom will have the full details of the Gaelic Park Irish Fest in Chicago with an R. And we say hello to all our friends out there in that great city of Chicago. So many wonderful things to do. What a great place to visit, Chicago. Now, friends, as I say, we're live, Global Irish Radio. We are the Irish Diaspora Station. We bring Irish radio programs from Ireland, and Irish communities all around the world is what we do. We'll be making stops in Philadelphia later on tonight. Then it's down under to Sydney, Australia, for the Ireland Calling programme from that part of the world. That's live from 11 o'clock tonight. I am going to be interested and intrigued to hear how they are celebrating the Mayo win down there, because earlier in the week I played a news report from a Sydney, one of the news channels down there, where they covered the story. It's kind of like the epicenter of the new wave of Irish immigrants, or people going abroad these days. That's where they head down under. Thousands of people go down to Sydney, Australia, and judging by social media and Facebook, there, all the reels that we were watching, lots of people in Irish pubs in Sydney celebrating the Mayo win as well. And of course, that's going to be the focal point for a lot of the Irish media in the coming weeks as Kobe makes the move down there. A lot of talk about that as well. And a lovely picture of the two boys in the paper, still in the papers. They're in the papers every day. What am I saying? Lovely picture of the two lads, Kobe and Jordan. Not everybody knows now, they're brothers. And not the proudest mom in Ireland has to be their mom, Karen. She is just like full of pride and joy this week. As you can imagine, to have not one but two sons on the Mayo team that clinches the All-Ireland after a 75-year famine. So she is over the moon, and I say a nice picture of the two boys. They're actually stepbrothers. So the mom is common to both of them. They're brothers of a different mother. Let's put it that way. Oh no, the same mother. The same mother. And she, as you don't know already, is a big... wondering where the name came from. Those are famous basketball names in the USA, if you're not familiar with basketball and that big sport, because Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, two of the greats of basketball. So she appeared, and we talked about this. You'll get the full story on the Ranter if you listen this week. The Irish Ranter, John Gurry explains the connection to the basketball. It's on the mom's side. But anyway, there you go. And of course, Kobe's famous dad, Kieran MacDonald, who played for Mayo all those years ago. Not that long ago, actually. But anyway, a lot of attention on that. But yeah, not everybody knew that the two lads were brothers, because you have Kobe MacDonald and Jordan Flynn. So there you go. That's the connection right there for you. And as I say, in terms of the money, people have been asking as well, how much is Kobe set to earn when he goes out there? Not a whole lot, actually. As a rookie, he's going to be on about €33,000 a year when you translate it, when you do the currency translation and stuff like that. It's not until about year 3, maybe, if he hits the big time and makes it, that he'll be on bigger money. He'll probably be on 6 figures by that point. But he'll start out with a fairly modest $33,000 a year and bonuses for appearing in big matches and stuff like that. But it is not huge money by any account. But there you go. That's the latest on a couple of the lads from Mayo. As you know, the Sam Maguire homecoming celebrations continue here in Mayo. Today they had an open-top bus tour taking in some of the smaller towns. We have a complete list of the towns that they're going to. I don't have there in front of me, but they're making their way around Mayo on the open top bus. Why didn't they get that open top bus? Did it take a week to get an open top bus? We don't usually have one. We don't usually need one, but there you go. The open top bus arrived in Mayo, and the lads they're in the bus and they're going around to the smaller towns today. And they're still, it's amazing 5 days later to see the crowds of people, like a sea of people at all these homecoming parties. I mean, we were wrecked at just going to one party, after Sunday and Monday. These lads have been on the go since Sunday night, and they're appearing at all these organised homecomings throughout the county. Massive homecomings. You look at Erris and North Mayo, Belmullet, home of Ryan O'Donoghue. Thousands of people. As I said, not since Pope John Paul II came to Ireland have we seen crowds of this magnitude on the streets of County Mayo. And the exuberance of it. It's just amazing stuff, and they're, as I say, the bus is out, and they have that open top bus, and I suppose it's probably a little bit easier for them to to get around and to meet as many people as possible. So it's a lovely thing to see. Watch out for the bus and look on your social media. Midwest has the list of where they're stopping today. They're covering a lot of ground, and there's a lot of ground to be covered. Yesterday, of course, they stopped off at Ballahadreen, which is the home of the manager, Andy Moran. And here's a quick snippet of Andy addressing the crowds in his hometown. He gave a lovely, lovely speech there, and here's a clip from it. And it was a lovely occasion and so much pride.
I think the magnitude of what we've done and what the lads have done, I say, really kind of started to hit home when we were driving through Bangor into Ballincorrick into Belmullet yesterday. It was just the most amazing scenes we've ever seen, and coming east today and seeing the crowds. It's Thursday, there's no one going to work anymore. I don't think anyone goes to work anymore. It's just absolutely amazing. But
that's right, work has been cancelled in Mayo until further notice. Nobody's got to work. He's right about that. Work has been cancelled. That's Andy Moran addressing the crowds. Very, very large crowd in Ballahadreen for his stop with the Sam Maguire yesterday. And as I say, the crowds absolutely ginormous, huge, not like nothing we've ever seen before here in this county, at least not since Pope John Paul II made his trip in 1979. And what a happy crowd they've been, and it's amazing. I don't know how they can this amazing stamina. Anyway, there you go, and it's not over yet. There's a lot more appearances to be made. The homecoming continues, and it will for quite some time. Now, I watched some pictures of the Kerry players' homecoming, and they had an open bus, and they were parading the players around the town. I don't know if it was AI or if it was real, because I say that because the streets were deserted. There was virtually nobody out to welcome the team home. And again, these days, it is very hard to know if things are real or not real. You need to check a few different sources to see if it's real or not, because, there's so many joke things going around courtesy of AI. It's hard to know. But if it is true, it's kind of that, that's the difference, really, isn't it? That's one thing that differentiates or distinguishes Mayo supporters. I always say it, and everybody acknowledges the Mayo, and we've seen it this week. The Mayo supporters have to be the best supporters in the world. There's no question about that. And the difference there is, even in defeat, we support our players, and players need your support in defeat as well. And I thought it was a bit sad and depressing that more people didn't. If that is true, and if that is the case, that they came home to basically empty streets. They have accomplished. They won in All Ireland last year, and you can't just be supporting your team when they're winning. If you're a real supporter, as Fergus always tells us, you can't be a fair weather supporter. You support your team in good and in bad. And there should have been, in my opinion, better here in Mayo. Certainly, if in times of and there has been lots of times of heartbreak and defeat, we rally around the team, because they need it just as much when they lose as when they win. So that was a bit sad. Now, everywhere you look these days, and everybody's looking for these license plate style souvenirs. They're like a license plate 26MO Sam, which is a play on the the registration license plates that we have over here. Everybody's looking for them. If you know where to get them, let us know. But they're a nice little keepsake. I don't recommend putting them on the car, because you get pulled over. I don't know if you get you out of trouble. But they're license plates that look, well, for all intents and purposes, they look like license plates, but they say 26MO Sam, which is a lovely kind of a souvenir. Also, a lovely souvenir is in today's Irish Daily Star. They have a giant A2. Now, that's the big poster. Very, very big. And we were looking at it, myself and Margaret, earlier. It's a glossy poster. It's a lovely picture of the Mayo team and some of their kids and different family, loved ones, shall we say. Beautiful, beautiful poster. Definitely a keepsake. Lovely keepsake. Would be nice to get it autographed as well if you bring it along to see the team. But it's in the Irish Daily Star today, and we had a lovely look. We thought it was lovely anyway. And also the Mayo News. They had a commemorative, a special edition Mayo News printed this week with a beautiful picture of all the Mayo team. Just that's what was on the front cover. And the word finally. So it was a lovely, as a collector's edition, souvenir, keepsake of the team's success in Croke Park and winning the All-Ireland after 75 years. There was such demand for them that they have. There's been a reprint, so get one while they last. And there was a lot of talk about the Saw Doctors and them not performing at the homecoming on Monday night. Well, they had asked them. Somebody reached out to the Saw Doctors, but you see, the problem was, well, nobody knew first of all for sure that Mayo was going to win, and it was been planned after the fact. And Davey, the lead singer of the Saw Doctors, is away on a family vacation, and some of the other band members are too, and there's a tour going on. So the Saw Doctors weren't able to scramble and get together for a performance on Monday night at McHale Park. So that's why we didn't have the Saw Doctors there. There was speculation, all right, but it just Leo said wasn't possible. As said, Davey away with his family. But here's the good news. They plan on coming back and doing a special tour at the TF, the Traveller's Friend, in Castlebar. So that would be absolutely fantabulous, amazing. And lots of people, and maybe even the Sam Maguire will be there. By the way, we're all this talk of Glen Hansard and all of that tragedy coming back to the story, and we have a little piece in the paper today as well about how dangerous it is being a motorcyclist here in this country. Glen Hansard was one of 13 motorcyclists that was killed on Irish roads so far this year. That's a big number. 13 people died on our roads. We know that they're not a safe place, but they're particularly not safe for motorcyclists. The 56-year-old's death comes just weeks after the Road Safety Authority published its Motorcyclist Spotlight Report, warning bikers they face a disproportionate risk on Ireland's roads, and urged both bikers and motorists to share the roads safely. And oftentimes motorists are guilty of not necessarily giving the respect or attention or paying attention to the motorcyclists and pulling out in front of them oftentimes, and this can be especially detrimental for the motorcyclists. Since the beginning of the year, 108 people have lost their lives on Irish roads. That compares to 92 for the same period last year, so things are way worse this year. Of particular concern, 2025 recorded the highest number of motorcyclist fatalities, 30, since 2007, when 33 bikers died. So last year was a lethal one on the roads for motorcyclists. This year also proving to be the case. As I say, 13 so far lost their lives in road accidents involving motorcycles, or motorcyclists involved in tragedies who lost their lives, including Glen Hansard, whom the nation is mourning as we come into this bank holiday weekend. Friends, we're live on Global Irish Radio, and with you most days for the hour, and bringing you up to speed on all that's happening, the latest news, that kind of stuff, and the lighter side of the news, the hurt, the heartbreak, the celebrations of the nation. As I mentioned, this week up in Belfast, big celebration of traditional Irish music. That's our culture. That's who we are. And we thought we'd bring a little bit of music, a little bit of flavour from one of the artists, playing up there. Solace is one of the headline acts this week in Belfast. So we tune from Solace, Neil Nalaw, and we'll be right back.
Neil Nalaw,
There you go. That is Solace, and they're one of the headline acts at this at the Tradfest. Let's turn that off for a moment. At the Tradfest taking place up in Belfast and runs right through Sunday. Nice little bit of traditional Irish music for you on the Daily Crack this Friday. Happy Friday wherever you are in the world. Check out Global Irish Radio for your Irish diaspora radio programmes over the course of the weekend. As I said, it's down to Sydney later tonight, but tomorrow there are stops all around the globe. Places like Boston, Chicago, New York, Toronto. And I have to say, all of the well wishes from people all around the world celebrating Mayo's win. It's just heartwarming. Lovely stuff indeed. But there you go. And we'll be coming live as well from Boston as well tomorrow with the Irish Hit Parade, and again on Sunday, and Cleveland, Ohio with another fine Mayo man, Jerry Quinn. So some of the great programmes coming your way, and great traditional Irish music with the Sessions from the Cottage programme. Finbar will be back tonight. We'll have a word from Finbar in a moment, but Finbar's back tonight with another Raggle Taggle as well, and lovely warm wishes from Finbar as well. This is the Daily Crack, friends. Spread the good word, and let us see what we got for you. There was another story that I wanted to share here with you, if I can find it, but maybe we'll just take that message. We'll take that message from Finbar now, and we'll be right back.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Raggle Taggle Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Raggle Taggle. Listen to the Raggle Taggle on Global Irish.
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sundays 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on globalirishradio.com.
That's right, friends. Great music from Boston at the weekends with Paul Sullivan and the Irish Hit Parade, courtesy of our friends out there at Irish 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston. Now, I knew what I wanted to say. I wanted to tell you, I was just looking at the Mayo, the open top bus that just pulled into the town of Ballinrobe, and of course, lots of people out to greet it as well. The people, the mood is good everywhere you look here in County Mayo, I can tell you this week. And what a year it's been for Mayo in some regards, because it's not that long ago. Recently, we can tell you, and things have only got better since. I think everybody and their mother wanted to be in Mayo this week, and talking to people, different people, the ranter saying, you know, he wished he was here for this moment, and that is certainly the case with a lot of people. And we talked about that on the Ranter as well, as the latest edition at theirishranter.com. And the other thing that we were talking about, we're very happy about, was that for the first time in 75 years, people who placed bets on Mayo actually got money back. So that was a beautiful thing. All the believers who probably lost a lot of them on them over the years, but kept coming back for more, finally had a payout from the bookies. So that in itself was a wonderful thing. But yeah, Ireland, the good news that I'm referring to was recently Ireland's best county to raise a family has been, or was named, and you'll never guess what county. Any ideas? That's right, County Mayo. So there you go. Not only are we home to Sam Maguire must have got word of this survey or this accolade, because now it's even better, but the reasons as if you need to know. Some of the reasons why it is a great county to raise a family include education, housing affordability, safety, green spaces, and access to local amenities. All play a major role in shaping childhood experiences. And when it comes to all of those measures or those points, Mayo tops the list. We tick the boxes, friends. More than 1 in 5 Irish families have 3 or more children, and for parents and guardians planning for the future, there is quite a lot to think about. Yes, there is, friends. Raising a family, it's tough these days. Let's put it that way. Forget about the affordability crisis and the expense of everything, but finding a safe place and where there's low crime rates and green spaces and a safe for the kids to go out and play. That's hard to believe in this day and age with all our all our all our technology and all of the rest of it. The world seems to be a much less safer place. But anyway, when it comes to raising a family and best county to live in, the crux of the story is Mayo tops the list. So more good news for us here in Mayo. Lovely story indeed. And what else? There was another story throughout the week that, a lot of stories got drowned out by the coverage of Mayo's success in the All-Ireland, and then, of course, the Glen Hansard tragedy. They were the two big stories, a happy and a sad story, all in the 1 week. But another good news story was that an Irish writer has been named alongside 12 other authors on the long list for the 2026 Booker Prize. Jamal White is his name. He's only 28 years old. He's an author and he's a former tattoo shop manager. Yes, he has the tattoos to prove it. He sure does. And he is the youngest writer on this year's long list with his first novel, All Them Dogs. And it's set in West Dublin. It's a book telling the story of Tony Ward, a man who returns to Ireland, having been lying low abroad for 5 years. His efforts to reinvent himself and to reinsert himself into local gangland network, and his relationship with the top enforcer of a notorious crime boss. So you see all the ingredients for a thrilling story. And the idea apparently emerged from a short book, Blue Opal, which he wrote during the early days of the first COVID lockdown. You see, lockdown unlocked. The lockdown unlocked a lot of creativity in a lot of people and spurned, some very artistic works, let's put it that way. But anyway, that book was selected in 2026 as a book to watch in the New Statesman, the Irish Times and the Sunday Independent and RTE, and Was It Ever? The judges, they called All Them Dogs a ballsy, unsentimental portrait of West Dublin gangland set well off the beaten track of the city's usual literary landmarks. So this is the grit of the Dublin gangland, kind of like Love Hate, if you've seen that very successful television series. But there you go. Congratulations to Jamal White, 28-year-old former tattoo shop manager. But I say he still has those tattoos everywhere. Another story that I thought was rather interesting, that caught my eye last week. Didn't get to tell you about it. By the way, while I'm talking about it, check your pockets for 20 pence. There's one particular 20 pence coin, a rare Irish coin that's now worth a staggering 15,000. This one caught my eye and wanted to let you know, because lots of people have coin jars dating back to before the euro came into effect and never cashed them in. But if you're if you have one of these coins, the coin collectors probably want to hear from you, because they're on the hunt for one of Ireland's rarest 20 pence coins. And if you're lucky, you could be in line. It goes for about 15,000 euro. That 20 pence coin, if you have one of them, and chances are you don't have them. There was only a few of them produced. Let's tell you why they're so sought after. The highly sought after coin carries the date of 1985, even though the 20 pence coin wasn't officially introduced until the following year. But here's the reason now. This is the reason why this coin is so valuable. There were only 500 of them created or struck by the central bank, and they were kind of trial coins before the new denomination entered circulation in 1986. In other words, they produced 500 of these coins for the purposes of trying them out in vending machines and public telephone boxes. What's a public telephone box? Yes, we had telephone boxes back in 1985 and 1986. Nowadays, you'd be hard pressed to find I don't think you'd be able to find one. But anyway, so you get the idea. They released, they struck 500 of these 20 pence coins for the purposes of companies to, develop vending machines and make sure that the public phones and stuff like that would recognise the new currency before it went nationwide. And those 500, they were left in circulation. And if by chance you have one, well, they're worth a fair penny now. That's the crux of the story. So keep an eye out for a 20 pence coin. Worth a fortune. If it's from 1985 is the magic year. Studio at GIR.ie if you want to get in touch with us here at globalirishradio.com and GIR.ie, streaming 24/7. Great Irish music, and when there's not Irish music, there are great Irish diaspora programs. Check out the full and complete schedule at globalirishradio.com. And for more crack, for the best crack in Ireland, it's got to be thedailycrack.com. Check that one out as well. Here's a story that caught my attention, as stories can do. Hard-working staff were extremely upset after a thief stole their tips from a popular Cavan diner. The owners of a popular Cavan diner have spoke. Yes, friends, they spoke of their shock after discovering that money had been stolen from their tip jar. The jar that goes, lots of places have these tip jars, and the money goes to the staff. Smith Steiner shared an emotional post on social media on Monday evening revealing that somebody had taken a 20 euro note that was intended for the staff. Now, the part of this story that struck me as very odd and very unusual: who in Cavan tips 20 euros? There must be some mistake. This is Cavan, friends. So somebody did, but anyway, somebody else stole it. But that's the story. That's the crux of the story. They want their $20 back that somebody pinched from the tip jar. Remarkable for all kinds of reasons. Remarkable for the meanness of stealing it, but also the amazement that somebody in Cavan, it must have been a tourist, tipped 20 euro to the staff there. That's pretty much our lot for today, friends. Thank you so much for your company since 3 this afternoon. Join us next Monday. We're here Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays with your daily dose of Irishness, dailycrack.com. So check that out. And of course, as I say, we'll be back on Monday when we are not here, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can check thedailycrack.com. We'll link you to all of the day's headlines, the newspapers, all that you need to know to get you through your day. It's been a rather amazing week here in this part of the world. Actually, that reminds me, I had put together some thoughts, my thoughts of the week, because it was a historic week, wasn't it? It was momentous, a week like we will never see again. And I scribbled down my thoughts, which I called Thoughts of the Week. So yeah, what a week it's been, really. A week that captured the very best and the very worst of the human experience. As you know, it began with scenes of unbridled joy as Mayo finally brought Sam home, ending generations of hope, heartbreak and unwavering belief. The celebrations echoed far beyond the county, reminding us of the power of dreams unfilled. Yet, before the echoes of celebration had faded, the nation was united once more, this time in sorrow, with the tragic and untimely loss of Glen Hansard. In the space of just a few short days, Ireland was reminded that life can lift us to the highest peaks before asking us to endure its deepest valleys. Joy and grief, celebrations and mourning, both shared, both deeply Irish, and both bringing us together as one people. And perhaps, if this remarkable week has taught us anything, it's this: never take a moment or the people who fill those moments for granted. Celebrate often, love deeply, say the words that matter while you still can, and cherish those around you. Here's the crux of it, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So live for the moment, friends, and savour the moment. And remember the people that matter. So on that note, that's our lot for this week. You've been listening to Daily Crack, as I say, on Global Irish Radio, dailycrack.com for more. We're going to finish up on a sad note. We've been on a high all week. Cloud 9 with the celebrations here in Mayo. We're very cognizant and very aware of the sadness, the cloud that came across the country with the passing of Glen Hansard earlier this week. So we're going to go out with fans and musicians who gathered in Dublin yesterday on the streets to pay tribute to the Oscar-winning singer, and Falling Slowly. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Games that never amount to more than they're meant will play themselves out. Well, you have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you mourn. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You've made it now. Falling slowly, sing your melody. I'll sing it take the cost too late. Now you're gone.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide.
Around the clock and around the world. You're listening to globalirishradio.com.